In May 2011, Lincoln City were relegated from the Empire League 2 after losing 3-0 at home to Aldershot in the final game of the season. This consequently hurt the fans, as they would only average 2,500 through the gate in the next season and would only sell 1,200 season tickets. However, in 2016, the club made their best managerial signing since Keith Alexander. That's right, the Cowley brothers. Danny and Nicky Cowley left Braintree Town after guiding them to second place and narrowly losing out to Grimsby in the playoff semi-final. That season, they would go on to defy the odds, and Lincoln City would become the story of the season after their great FA Cup run to the quarter-finals, losing 5-0 to Arsenal in the end. But what a season it was for them. In the space of 3 years, they went from non-league facing Bromley to going to League One and facing teams such as Sunderland, Portsmouth and Bolton Wanderers. So today, I will be heading to the LNER Stadium to have the pleasure of interviewing Jake Longworth, the marketing manager of Lincoln City, to ask the question, what effects has lockdown had on the club? Hello Jake, thank you for coming with me today on this Lincoln City Club in Lockdown. I appreciate the opportunity. First, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions, if that's all right.
Of course, yeah.
So my first question is, what effects has lockdown had on the club as a whole?
Lockdown has had a huge effect financially on the club, as it will have done for a lot of businesses and other football clubs. It's been a really tough period, obviously, with no fans, and obviously our outgoings are still as they were without that income from a match day. So it's been really tough. The club have utilised the government's furlough scheme as well to help things, which has been really beneficial to us. But yeah, I think overall it's had quite a significant effect. But hopefully, in the coming future, we can start to have fans in the gates again and kind of rebuild again and go for next year. So it's been tough, and I mean, I've been kept on with another member of the media team as well, and we've had members furloughed, and I think for us trying to come up with different types of content has been challenging, because we've had to deal with we've had signings, obviously, we've had to deal with press, we've done weekly interviews, etc. But then from the marketing side as well, we're still marketing things. So it's been tough, but we've done a decent job of it.
Great to hear. It is a tough situation at the moment, but sounds like you've done pretty well. My next question: what was the atmosphere like at the club when you heard the league was not going to continue?
I think originally it was the club's intention to finish the season initially. That's what the club were keen to do. And then as time went on, and we weren't sure if the season was started, if it would then stop again, if there was another spike in cases. I think financially for the club, the curtailment of the season was the best outcome, because to pay for testing, etc., and then to take players off furlough and having to pay them full time without the income, as we mentioned earlier.
Of course.
The best decision in the end, the most sensible decision was made, we feel. So in terms of an atmosphere, it wasn't perceived as an atmosphere. It was a case of we all wanted to get back playing at first because we were missing it and we wanted to finish the season. And then as time progressed, and it was quite a lengthy amount of time in terms of the lockdown and the COVID cases. So for us, in the end, the right decision was made. So I think now the atmosphere is positive. We're all looking forward to next year, and hopefully we can get that started as soon as possible. Obviously, you'll have seen we've had a few signings already, and Boris Johnson and the government have announced today that they're expecting fans back in October. So look, we've just got to hope that we can get fans back as soon as we can, so that we can have normality back, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. The financial side of the club's going to be hard for clubs this division, of course. But I think a positive side to take for Lincoln City, this club, is that it's the highest finish you've had in about 35 years, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
So I guess finishing 16th is not too bad, but yet again, there's clubs worse off, isn't there?
There is, and in terms of where we finish as a club, we're obviously pleased to stay in the division, and it's our first go at this level for 20 years around that time. So look, we're really pleased to be in League One again next season. Hopefully we can kick on.
Yeah, of course. Did you have any warning that the league was going to be cancelled?
Not a warning as much. The club had various votes, and the EFL had votes in terms of which clubs would like to continue with the season and which clubs wouldn't. In the end, obviously, we voted against it. So in terms of warning, it was more of an ongoing discussion really with the EFL. So we kind of expected it because financially clubs couldn't afford to. Majority of them couldn't afford to. Some of them were really keen to continue, as it's well documented. But from our side, we were expecting, as the longer time went on, the more likely it was that it was going to be curtailed. And I can completely understand why the likes of Peterborough, etc., wanted the season to continue, because they want to get out of this league. And if COVID hadn't hit, then who knows? They could have got out of the league. But I think it was the fairest of the unfair solutions, if that makes sense, in terms of how it ended.
Do you have any thoughts on the current date set for the seasons to return, which is the 12th of September?
We're not sure yet when the season will resume. We've not been told officially. There has been a lot of talk in the media about the 12th of September. I couldn't really tell you any concrete information. I'm hopeful it starts on the 12th of September, just so that we can kind of get back to normality, get back playing, get the fans in.
Of course.
But the 12th of September is quickly approaching, so we're going to need to know sooner rather than later as to when that will be. But like I said, that's the date that people are talking about, so we'll see.
With clubs facing uncertain times at the moment, how do you feel that they are, including this club, are managing?
It's difficult, because it's difficult for me to say how other clubs are doing. I know that we're doing pretty well. We have a really hard-working staff force, and Michael and Jez and the team are really good at recruitment and getting players in. And unfortunately, we've had horrendous time financially, as have so many other businesses, not just football, and it's affected us all considerably. You only have to look at the amount of redundancies and stuff that's being made across the country. I think we've dealt with it as best as we physically could do. We're a well-run club via Clive and the investors, and they've looked after us as a club and made sure that we're not in any financial danger. We're a really well-run club, and I think we've done well to survive COVID so far, and hopefully we can come out the other side with a more positive future, possibly.
Well, the pitch looks really nice, so this hasn't been affected at all.
Yeah.
What has lockdown been like for you? How have you coped?
Coped as well as I could, working from home for long periods. Used to come into the LNER Stadium, working here most Monday to Friday, occasional Saturdays, match days. So I've really missed it. It was part of a routine, and it was really difficult actually to kind of transition from coming here every day to being at home. So cope with it as well as possible. We're a media marketing team of 4 that have been halved to 2 in terms of furlough scheme, so I'm looking forward to getting Terry and Charlie back in the team so that we can implement our ideas and just get going again. Really, it's been difficult, but we'll get through it, and hopefully we'll be back here soon. Do you miss any of the people that have? Of course, no, I've missed them working relationships that we have with those guys. Bits of banter in the office that you can't have at home. So we've used Microsoft Teams and we've used Zoom calls and stuff, which I'm sure you will have done as well. We've been, instead of interviewing the management team and the players here at the stadium, we've been doing it all online via Zoom, and that's worked really well. Teams as well internally for us has been great in terms of communicating with each other, sharing documents, and having online meetings. It's worked really well. But I'd much rather it be in person. But the best thing that can kind of happen is that everyone around Lincoln can stay as safe as possible, and we can hopefully return to work, and things will be normal again.
Of course. Definitely, fingers crossed. As the marketing manager, have you thought of any new ways to attract the old fans back to the ground before the season starts?
In terms of age, the older fans?
Definitely.
I think from my point of view, it's just getting everybody back in the ground. And I know there's the talk of the older fans possibly being more at risk. and we've not really delved into that because all ages, like there's so many different illnesses that people have. So I think it would be unfair to discriminate on the older guys. For me, I just hope the R rate in Lincoln stays as low as possible, and we can get all fans in as quickly as we can.
Oh, definitely.
Like we said earlier, we're looking at possibly October. Hopefully we can have some trials and get some fans in a little bit earlier than that. And we've had 4,000 season ticket holders who have already renewed for next year. We didn't think it was fair to sell the remaining 2,500 just yet because we didn't know where we were going to be. But hopefully in a few weeks we'll be in a position to announce further season ticket windows, and hopefully we can get fans back here. But yeah, we're just keen to get everyone back as soon as we can, because we're all missing it, aren't we? So you're missing it.
I'm definitely missing it. Yeah.
So hopefully it's back to normality soon. Otherwise, I mean, for some people it might be case of watching match passes on iFollow and tuning in that way for a while, and we'll just see how it goes. But it's not the same as being up there in the co-op or the Serenity stand cheering on the team. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, it's never going to be the same, is it? When you're, I just can't wait for that day when we're all allowed back and we're all allowed to sit over there with the 617 squadron and bounce. For the team, what an atmosphere that would be, the first game.
I know, and I've missed the atmosphere tremendously, and so many clubs come here and talk about the atmosphere, don't they? And out of the 92 clubs, we were ranked second behind Ellen Road for atmosphere. So, which is whilst there is around 9,500, 10,000 in, it feels like it's 3 times that.
Amazing fan base here, and I'm sure they're very eager to get back in those seats.
Of course, yeah.
This is the final question now. This is an important one. What is your opinion, and why should we, the average football fan, support our local club?
It's vitally important, isn't it, to support local businesses, and not just football, just going into town and just maybe going to a local cafe or a pub, or just trying to get the economy going again. I think the Lincoln is a community club. Definitely. We've done so much for the community. Examples of it being opening the 3G pitch, free to hire for everyone. We've been doing food banks and supporting those people that aren't safe to go out and shop. We've been ringing season ticket holders who may or may not be at risk of COVID-19 just to check in on them. So I think from our perspective, we've done as much as we can to help the local people and help our fans, and hopefully that's reciprocated and people can then come along and support the club, because we have missed them tremendously, and the fans are a huge part of this football club. They're a real passionate bunch. They get behind the team, and like you say, we've had huge crowds this season, and hopefully, I'm hopeful that next year we can get those crowds in again. But we see ourselves as kind of a hub, not only for the local people, but in terms of businesses as well, and kind of bringing people together. I think together, if we all stick together,
definitely,
we can build us back up again, and hopefully financially and we start to recover.
I think it's all about bringing the community together, isn't it? Of course, with the 3G pitch being open for free, bringing people back to supporting Lincoln again and getting to the old
I mean,
ways.
it's great to see some Lincoln shirts out there now, and obviously the new kit was launched today as well, so hopefully we get a few more of them sales, and the merchandise sales have had a hit, of course, because people might not be able to afford to do it, and they've got to look after themselves, and I think the most important thing is that the fans look after their own financial situation before the clubs, but obviously any support that any fans can provide us, whether it's buying merchandise, buying iFollow passes, or even buying stuff like 50/50 tickets and signing up for the Imps lottery, it all significantly helps us. So we're really grateful for the support that we have, and our fans are tremendous.
I think the last note to anyone that is watching this interview, that is, support your local club, because the fans are really important to clubs like Lincoln, aren't they?
They are.
You know, they're the life and soul of this lower league football.
Of course. Yeah. And that's why it's so refreshing to still see lower league teams get good crowds in. And I mean, even filtering down towards non-league and stuff, it's just great to see thousands of fans turning out for their local team, and it's no different here. I mean, you've been here many times. And the atmosphere really does rock, doesn't it, on a match day? So we're really grateful for the support of the fans, and hopefully as long as we can keep providing good stuff on the pitch, and they'll keep coming. So
of course,
It's all good.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for your time, Jake Longworth. It's been
Not a problem.
brilliant.
Anytime. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So there you have it, everybody. That is why you should support your local football club. It's not about sitting at home at telly watching Man United, because they can easily get the money. It's about being at the heart of the Football League, in the lower league. It's about chatting to Dave in the stands, who's been coming here 65 years. It's about communicating with the people at this ground. It's about eating that matchday pie in the rain, you know, when all hope feels lost, but then your team gets a comeback from being 3-0 down. It's about the love of the game. It's about supporting your team through a financial crisis like this one. So I urge you all to support your local team, because they might not be here tomorrow.